Well, here we are with the 2014 Ducati Panigale 899. It is the review that I have been promising you guys for quite some time. Let's get into it. As you can see, we are in a picturesque location with mountains in the distance, a Ducati in the cornfields, and a smog plant in that distance. Today we're going to talk about some facts about this bike. We're going to talk about my opinions on this bike, and we're going to talk about why it's possibly the best street bike that you can buy right now for the money. I do want to start off this video by saying, when it comes to something opinionated, that it is my opinion. So something saying this is the best street bike you can buy is an opinion, obviously. So we're going to go over some facts first. So this is a 2014 899 Panigale made by Ducati, which is the little brother to the 1199 at the time. This is the baby Panigale. It's not a super bike, but everybody thinks it is. Everybody thinks it's a Ferrari, especially people who don't know motorcycles. They think this thing costs $1 million, when in fact you can pick them up for between $6,500 and $9,500. It's a great deal. The bike comes with an 898cc L-twin, makes 148 crank and 73 torques. The bike doesn't hit those numbers until north of 9,000 RPM, and we'll talk about my opinion on that when we get to riding it. What makes this bike different? It's a wet clutch, which is different for Ducati. It's a double-sided swing arm, also different for Ducati. It's got non-LED, non-projector headlight housings. It's a way they saved money on this bike. And the red is a single-stage paint job, which is absolute trash. That is a fact. That's not an opinion. The dry weight comes in at 372 pounds, which is fantastic because it makes the bike super nimble, especially for its power level. You'll see why when we get to riding it in the twisties. It's a very fun bike to ride. The bike has a Showa front fork system and SOX rear suspension, which sucks because it's not Öhlins. Also a fact. This bike also has all kinds of electronics you can dabble with, such as 8 levels of traction control, ABS, engine braking. Ducati says the bike has a 4.5 gallon fuel tank, but the test determined that was a lie. You'll think this bike has a 3 gallon gas tank because of the fuel economy being so terrible. This covers pretty much all the facts I wanted to go over. This bike was made for 2 years, and then they switched over to the 959. I do think this is the better looking bike. The front end looks a lot better. As you can see it beneath the headlights, there's kind of like dual fins, where on the 959 it's connected. I don't like that look so much. So we'll go over some of the mods I have on the bike and some downfalls it has, and we're going to start riding it. All right, let's go for a ride and let's talk about the bike, what I like, what I don't like. This part all becomes pretty opinionated, so if you don't like opinions, this is not for you. But I know what I'm talking about, so you should stay tuned. Let's get to it. We're gonna get the bike to some twisties. We're not just gonna ride this bike on the highway the whole time and talk about how slow it is. We're actually gonna get this thing riding and talk about how it feels for an actual rider. Now, I'm not the fastest rider per se, but I would consider myself an average rider. I'm out here in appropriate gear today, so we can ride a little bit harder than normal. So let's talk about the bike. Obviously, we've gone over the facts. So what is it like to actually ride? It's amazing. Simply put, this bike is not the fastest, okay? It is the prettiest. I will say that. It is one of the prettiest bikes out there. But the way that it handles is pretty unmatched when it comes to bikes in this price range. You know, you consider the 899 is getting pretty old at this point, and you can get them for up with under 5,000 miles, and they, you know, you can get them for anywhere between $6,500 and I would say $9,000. Anything over $9,000, you're probably paying too much, unless it's like 500 miles and has every single modification known to man on it. So let's talk about probably what most of you are here for, which is going to be the power. Ding. The power is alright, okay? It's nothing amazing. It's not really going to blow your mind unless this is your first bike. And as a warning to anybody considering purchasing this bike, this is not comparable with a leader bike. A lot of people see $899 and they think that this thing is going to be close to a leader bike. Well, it's not even close. It's not even close to a naked leader bike. It's just not. They built this bike really to contend with your 600cc Japanese riders. By Japanese, I mean Japanese sport bike riders. And I would say it stacks up as better than a 600cc sport bike as far as power. And it's a toss-up with a 700cc. You know, it's a middleweight bike. That's how it's classified. So while it does have a bigger engine, it's not nearly as fast. And to the point, you know, one of the best middleweight bikes out there, I think, for a long time has been the GSXR 750. Even though people talk a lot of crap about Gixxers, the GSXR 750 is one of the best middleweight bikes out there. Now, not until I think this year's model did the Gixxer 750 even come close to this, but I think it's probably a little bit better than this bike now. If you compare a 14899 to a 19 GSXR 750, the 750 weighs, I think, 15 pounds less, and the power is actually the exact same at 148. So it's a solid power level. It's probably a lot rev happier than this. So now, why do I say this bike isn't very fast? So it makes 148 brake horsepower, so a crank, makes 73 torque. Now, that power does not come in until up here, right? The torque comes at max at 9,000, and the horsepower comes at max at 10,000. Well, you only got, you know, 2,000 RPM left after that, which kind of sucks for a twin. With a twin, you really expect the power to come down low, and you just don't get that with this bike. Some people may have a different experience. Actually, nobody's going to have a different experience. The torque on these bikes does not come down low. And from the factory, on the highway in 6th gear, if you're going 70 and you try and get into it, the bike kind of lugs a little bit trying to go forward. And it doesn't do a good job of getting you where you need to go. Now, my bike, this bike specifically, has the full Termi exhaust system. It has a Ducati race map, the up map, and I've also geared the bike down, okay? So the bike is not stock gearing. The reason I've done that is because the mid-range was so atrocious on this bike. I had to rev it out like a 600 at all times, which I wasn't a big fan of. Now with the gearing, as you've already seen, the bike is a lot more lively. It's a lot more fun to ride. Small change that made a huge difference on this bike, and a huge difference in the experience of riding it. I'll stop talking about power and say this. This is a bike that, for the street, more than enough power. I would actually probably consider this bike, when it's got a different gearing on it and it has a tune and exhaust, I would consider this bike probably the golden point for power. Especially if you do a lot of real riding, and by real riding I mean as long as you're not out there doing highway pulls, this is an amazing bike on the street, and you're really hard pressed to find one that's gonna be better. I mean, that's just the fact about it, especially when you can get them. Let's say you can get a really nice one for $8,000. You're gonna be hard pressed to find a better bike. So that's, what the fuck are you doing? So that's what we got on Power, right? It's a great place to be. You know, for those of you, actually, you could possibly get tired of this power level. Maybe. I don't know. I don't get tired of it, but you could possibly get tired of it if you're a leader bike guy. Which, I think most people buy these bikes and use them as track weapons because they're so light. And it's not a bad thing to do. We're going to give that car that was in front of us a minute. I'm like passing them on these tight roads right now. Whew! Boys, it is hotter than shit out here. Let's go hit some twisties. Let's talk about the handling. So this bike handles amazing. And its combination with the Pirelli tiles is the Pirelli tires is a superb combination. At first I didn't really like them, but it has a really sharp turn and it goes exactly where you want it to go, which is exactly what you want in this kind of bike. It's very confidence inspiring. Still have to respect it, but it's very confidence inspiring. So much fun because with the gearing change, once you get into those turns, you don't have to go full throttle all the time. I was giving it very little throttle input and it's still a blast to ride in the turns. Now, one complaint I do have about this bike is while it is very nimble, and from what I've seen, this could be a Ducati as a whole, but I don't feel like the transitions are as quick as they should be for how light the bike is. I've heard that a wheel change makes a huge difference, but that's one semi-complaint I have, is that I feel like you can switch back over. You have to throw a lot of your weight at this bike to get it to switch, which you do on all bikes, but even when you throw max weight at the bike to transition, I still feel like it transitions pretty slowly. So much fun. It is very effortless to get this bike to react how you want it to, other than the kind of slow transition side of things. Let's touch on one more point about handling. So it has Showa front suspension, a Sox rear, single shock on the side, and the suspension's pretty good. It is adjustable to a certain extent, but actually, you know what, it's really good for the street. It's funny because there's times I find it too stiff, and there's times I find it too soft. Now, I don't know if that's because I'm a big dude, is when I find it too soft, I don't know. But I will say, once I get into a turn and I'm hanging off like the bike's gonna get squirrely on me or hop out or anything. I mean, I don't push it too hard either, but I never get the feeling that it's gonna leave me, and I just have the confidence to keep going, while still respecting the bike. One of the other big points about the Ducati is it reliable? Or they've heard nightmare stories about trying to maintain a Ducati and how unreliable they are. So I bought this bike with 3,000 miles on it. Okay, and I've put like 5,500 miles on this thing in 3-4 months, something like that. And I ride it a lot. I beat the crap out of this bike. I'm not nice to it. And all I've had to do is change the oil on it, and you have to change the brake and clutch fluid almost every time you do an oil change. Now, I run Multi 300D. It says, I think you can go like 3,000 to 5,000 miles on an oil change. Because I ride this bike so hard, I change the oil every 1,500 miles. And this is actually pretty fresh fluid here. You can already see my clutch fluid is getting dark and looking kind of burnt. And that's just, these hoses, the fluids run so close to the engine. And this engine runs so hot that it just burns the fluids, which is kind of a pain. But, I mean, you keep changing your fluid, it keeps it fresh. The valve checks consistently on the bike. So if something went wrong, it's a nightmare. With these bikes, as long as you keep them off rev limiter, they're fantastic. They're going to be super reliable. And there was somebody on the forum, I think they had like 70 or 80,000 miles on their Panigale until they crashed here. And I'm really going to stick to problems that I notice a lot from street riding. The first thing is the bike has a charcoal canister that only came on the USA bikes. And some bikes, I know I have a friend that has one that she doesn't have a problem with her bike starting. But with that charcoal canister, the bike vapor locks all the time and will not start when it gets hot. Mine had a terrible problem with it at first. I mean, it was like an absolute horrendous problem. It's about a 30-minute job to rip it out. So I took mine out, and I've had no problems since then. And so if you have one of these, don't worry if the bike doesn't start in the first couple turnovers after it's hot. It's normal. Look up the video on how to take out your charcoal canister and do that. I think Fancy Animal did a great video on it, so I'll link his video in the description. The next problem is heat. This bike will drain you. So I actually have a heat shield kit that goes like right there, okay? So the heat shield kit itself is I think it's like $100 from Ducati Spacers, and it's like a fantastic addition. If you have one of these bikes, you need to get it because it takes you from getting 4th degree burns down to 2nd degree burns. And I can live with 2nd degree burns. I don't know about you, but 2nd degree burns are a lot better to deal with. Oh, butterfly. Ooh, come back to me. Come back to me, butterfly. No. Okay. The third problem is the fuel economy. The fuel economy is garbage on this bike. It is, I mean, I get like around 30 miles per gallon, which is absolutely terrible. Like in my intro with the facts, Ducati said this thing has a 4.5 gallon tank. I didn't even know that. So the gas light, I thought it had like a 3.5 gallon tank. So the gas light seems to come on when you have a gallon of gas left in the tank. But I've heard stories of guys with their gas light running out, and then they run out of gas in 12 miles and the bike won't start. Now with those complaints, there's a lot of stuff you can do to make it better. I mentioned the charcoal canister delete, there's a heat shield kit to make it better. And that's the cool thing about this bike, is that everywhere you find a problem, there's always some way that you can make it better. My bike I got the Olin steering dampener because the stock steering dampener is shit. I've got Pro grips, the stock grips are shit. I've got the Ducati comfort seat, because no joke of a lie, the race seat or the stock Ducati seat, you you can only ride this bike for 30 minutes before your ass is destroyed. The comfort seat makes a 6-hour ride easy. You know, after 6 hours you start to feel a little bit, but if you have this bike, the first thing you must get is the Ducati comfort seat. I'm telling you, it makes all the difference for riding this bike. And I'm a big guy. I'm like 5'11", and way north of 200 pounds. And this bike to me is super comfortable. The ergonomics it's a very aggressive rider triangle, but the bike itself is so comfortable. Like, I never have any situation where I'm on the bike and I'm like, man, I wish that this thing would be more comfortable. Forego that. God, I love this bike. It's so much fun to lean off of it. It's really a dream. Alright, well, we're headed back home from the mountains. I think I accomplished this video without having a ton of opinions. I may watch the video back and say, oh shit, that was a lot of opinions, but I try to be factual and honest. You know, no bike ever is going to be perfect. No bike's going to be perfect. Alright guys, that's all I got for you today. I really hope you enjoyed this review